It's Kaiju, the Ackie monitor. This is Kaiju. Let's see, what is this now? September? So I've had him since April, and he was born in December. When I first got him, of course, he was skittish and he hid all the time. And he doesn't hide as much now. I wanted to share a little bit of what I've done as far as the interaction between me and him. It's gotten really good. We actually had a good moment today. I want to say we leveled up a little bit. This is his tank at the moment. It's built from a shelving system, and I just put the plexiglass in, and I'm expanding it over here, so it's going to be twice as big, but you'll see that probably in another month or two, because I'm building a pyramid for him. What I've done with Kaiju is I make sure I interact with him every day, multiple times a day. At least every 2 hours, I'm opening the door, sticking my hand in, digging around. I talk to him constantly. And he, little by little, he got to the point to where I could touch him. And then he didn't want to be touched on the face or the head, and he didn't want to be touched anywhere on his tail or behind his legs. So little bit by little bit, you just keep pushing those boundaries. I just keep stroking him a little bit more every day. Get down onto that tail. Work my way up into his head. I'm sorry, he's in the shadows. What I'm getting at is, little by little, I've gotten to the point to where he is super comfortable with me petting him. As you can see, he folds his arms back. If he's in the right place, he'll fold his legs back, and he just loves being pet. At this point, I just started picking him up. I picked him up and put him on my hand just a little bit ago, and he was fine with that. So I think we're going to start moving on to me picking him up onto my hand. And I've gotten him to climb onto my hand a couple of times, but once he's out of the cage, he kind of freaks a little bit. So today what happened, which was really interesting, was I was petting him and giving him body scratches. He scratches all over, yeah. And he's shedding a bit, so I've been helping him peel his shedding off. And he realizes now what I'm doing, I think. I can tell. Because he has some shedding on his tail down in here. And I just started picking at it and pulling the pieces off. And at first he was like, "Why are you fucking with my tail?" And then he relaxed and he's like, "Oh, he's peeling the skin off." So I did a little bit of that, and then he went and climbed into his home. He lives in this skull back in here. And then he came out, and he was in a position he wasn't really in before. Usually he sits like this, but he was in a position where he was turned around and he had his tail out here. And I'm thinking, he wants me to scratch his tail more. And I'm pretty sure he did, because I sat there and I scratched his whole tail, which is something he's never let me do before. And I just got as much peelings off as I could. And now, at this point, he's given in to where I can touch him all over. I try not to mess with his face too much, but I can get underneath him and rub his chin. Oh, he loves being rubbed underneath the chin. But as you can see, he is just mellow as hell right now. I just checked the temperature in here. He's about 100 right here. And I've got it up to about 140, maybe 160 in other areas if I have the other light turned on. He seems to be most comfortable, and he spends most of his time, I want to say, at about 113. That's usually where I find him, and his body is usually like right around 100. You know, even though I give him warmer spots, I don't see him in the really higher temperatures that often. But if I wanted to, I can pick him up right now and put him in my hands or put him somewhere else, and he'd be pretty fine with that, wouldn't you, buddy? So I'm going to go ahead and end this, but before I do, again, my point of making this was your Ackie is going to be skittish. Any lizard, any animal is going to be a bit skittish. Give them time and work with them every day. Spend as much time as you can in their tank, not messing with them. You know, I'll come in all the time and I'm digging around and I'm moving stuff, and I usually change his tank around maybe every 3 or 4 weeks. I take stuff out, wash it, change the layout a bit. He's got a pretty big tank, and he's also got a dig box down here that's connected to it, so he can actually go over here and then go down quite a bit. Another container down there that's just dig box. So, and then again, like I said, I'm giving him another secondary area over here that's going to have an Aztec pyramid and a bunch of other cool stuff. But work with them every day. Every day, just spend time in their tank, letting them know that you're not a threat. Are you asleep? Letting them know that you're safe and that you're not going to hurt them. And it's going to take a few months. And every Ackie is different. It might take a year. As I understand it, most don't want to be messed with within the first year. I kind of pushed it with Kaiju here, and Kaiju is so mellow. Maybe he's inhaling some of the smoke that I got around here, but he is super mellow. So right now he is just enjoying the body rubs. He'll take any scratches. So what I mean is I've gotten to where I can scratch his legs, and he doesn't mind me, you know, messing with his legs. He understands that it all feels good. So baby steps with your Ackie and with other lizards. Just spend time in their tank. Spend time in their world. Let them know that you are part of their world and not a threat as much as possible. Spend time moving stuff around in their tank, and just dig a little hole and then fill it back up and dig it up again and fill it back up, and just mess around in their tank. And whenever I'm screwing around in his tank, he usually comes out and he pokes his head and he wants to see what I'm doing. And he comes over and spends time with me, and that's a good way to get his attention and get him to come over, is just start digging and stuff and flicking dirt around, and he'll come and investigate thinking that there's something alive running around. And Kaiju's been fed a couple times today, a little bit of worms in the morning, a little bit of worms when I got home from work. And you had a big super worm, and you're just sleepyhead, aren't you? People are like, is he even alive? Yeah, he's just... Dude, you are so relaxed right now. Right? Yeah, move around a little bit. Good boy, yeah. Okay. So yeah, not too much action in this one, but Again, the simple words. Spend time in your animal's tank every day. Once you can get to the point to where they'll let you touch them all over. Touch them all over as much as you can. Get them used to you touching them all over. I mean, Kaiju now is used to it to where I can put my whole hand on him. And he kind of likes to be underneath my hand. So he's used to, he's used to being touched a lot. He's used to being stroked. Right, buddy? Okay, 10-minute video of me stroking my lizard. That kind of sounds weird. Anything you want to say to the crowd, Kaiju? Nope. You're just nice and comfortable. Okay, this is Kaiju. What is he, is he like 9 months now? I've had him for 5. The boy's getting fat. He's getting bigger. He's growing about 1 inch a month. So in about a year, he should be a foot bigger, maybe about full size. So I'm very lucky to have such a nice lizard. He's very, very cool. And I love him. And we have a lot of fun. So say goodbye, buddy.